Hello again, Z-Dog MD. Herman Peabody here. It's not well known, but as well as being an accomplished medical comedian, I'm also a student of dance history. I actually wrote a master's thesis on the history of dance. In particular, my area of emphasis was the robot, and I thought I would share with you some of the high points. If you look at the development of the dance, it actually began in the 20s with some very rudimentary animatronic. The movements were very crude and usually revolved just around some motion of the arms, particularly at the shoulders, and also with a little bit of a very clumsy torso rotation. Because of the Depression and then subsequently World War II, very little development was made in terms of the robot for a period of about 20 or 30 years. But then you see during the 60s sort of the resurgence of the robot in what would probably be considered the classic form, with bent elbows and movement again at the shoulders, and some minimal shuffling forward and backwards, although again it was very rudimentary. And oddly enough, the torso rotation that had been present in the 20s model robot was lost during that period. In the wake of the Vietnam War, there was a period of stagnation with regard to the robot dance, which really was manifested primarily as max headroom, with sort of a focus on the head and neck, again with very prominent atlantoaxial rotation and facial features, and again some vocal tics, you might consider them. As we got back into the 90s and sort of regained some cultural identity, you again see some return to the classic forms of the 60s, but again you start seeing little improvements being made, such as again some bending and twisting of the torso at the waist. Now you see movement not just forward and backwards, but in some cases along a 45-degree angle. And the elbows are akimbo now, not just tight to the side. This is a very dynamic development and allows the introduction of a lot of other dance moves and incorporation into the robot. You sort of see the apotheosis in sort of a dance that I like to call the Peabody Android, which incorporates all of these features, as well as a smile on the face, because I think that the robot is often perceived as impersonal and cold. It sort of makes it much more human, but still a very entertaining dance medium. Z-Dog, I hope that you'll edit that last part out. I got a little bit carried away and ran into some of the toys. But other than that, I think I made my point. Thank you.